There are so many technical words around AI right now, and nobody seems to be explaining them clearly. So I've put together this video to explain all of the AI terms that you keep hearing everywhere. By the end of this video, you'll understand AI better than 99% of people. If you don't know who I am, I'm Trew. I started coding at 13, got a degree in computer science, spent 7 years as a software engineer in London, then quit to co-found 2 7-figure AI companies. Now I document everything I learn about AI and share it here. So trust me when I say you don't need any of that for what I'm about to explain. Let's get into it. AI stands for Artificial Intelligence. At its core, it's a software that spots patterns. You ask it a question, and based on what it's seen before, it gives you the best answer that it can. The more it's seen, the better it gets. That's the foundation of every AI product that you use today. AI is the general concept. A model is one specific AI that a company has built. OpenAI built ChatGPT, Anthropic built Claude, Google built Gemini, and Meta built Llama. All different models. LLM stands for Large Language Model. It's the term that you're going to hear the most. ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, they're all called LLMs. The name comes from the fact that they were originally built for just text. You type in words and it gives you words back. That's what language model means. But that's changed. Most of them can now handle images, audio, even video too. When a model can do more than just text, that's called multimodal. So technically most modern AI is multimodal now, but everyone still calls them LLMs. The name just stuck. Some models are open source. That means the code is open and free to use. You can download it and run it on your own machine. You can even change it. These are the ones that you see people running on a Mac Mini at home. Others are closed source. ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, they're all closed source. You can use their service, but you need to pay. You don't get access to the model itself. You just use it through the service. A reasoning model is an AI that thinks before it answers. Instead of responding instantly, it breaks down the problem into steps and solves it one at a time. When you use ChatGPT or Claude normally, you're not using a reasoning model, you're using the standard version. Reasoning models are a step up. They're slower, but much better at hard stuff, maths, logic, coding, tricky problems. In ChatGPT, it's called thinking mode. Claude has extended thinking. Every major provider has their own version now. If you hear any of those names, it's likely a reasoning model. Training is the process of giving a model data so that it can learn. This could be web pages, books, articles, code, anything. When the AI looks through that data, finds the patterns, and then uses those patterns to answer questions, that's called machine learning. AI doesn't read words like you and I do. It breaks everything down into small chunks called tokens. What you send is called input tokens. What it sends back is called output tokens. This is how AI companies charge you. It's basically a way of measuring usage. The context window is what an AI can see at any one time. The bigger the context window, the more the AI can remember. The more it can remember, the better its answers. Every model has a limit on how many tokens it can handle at once. Bigger context windows have more information, but also cost more money. You've probably seen AI say something completely wrong, like it's a complete fact. That is what is called a hallucination. It's not lying on purpose. It's just predicting what sounds right based on patterns. But sometimes those patterns don't lead to somewhere that actually exists. But it doesn't know that, and it just says it with complete confidence. Here's your reminder just to always fact check anything important. Every message you type into an AI is called a prompt. It could be a question, an instruction, a paragraph of information, anything that you send. The better the prompt, the better the answer. A vague prompt gets a vague answer. A specific prompt gets a useful one. That skill of writing better prompts is what's known as prompt engineering. This skill is going to become increasingly important. China also has its own AI models. DeepSeek and Qwen are the most famous. They work a little bit differently because they're built on different data and follow the Chinese government rules. They're censored on certain topics, so you can get some very different answers depending on what you ask. But they keep making the headlines because they're matching Western models on quality, but they cost a fraction of the price. An AI wrapper is a term that people use to describe an application that's just some code sat on top of an AI model like ChatGPT. The AI isn't theirs, they just built a product around it. Some wrappers add real value, others add absolutely nothing. So if you hear someone that say, that's just a wrapper, now you know what it means. All the models that we've talked about are general purpose. They know a bit about everything. But what if you want one that's really good at a specific thing? Fine-tuning is when you take an existing model and train it further on your own data. A hospital might fine-tune on medical records. A law firm might fine-tune on legal documents. You're taking a generalist and turning it into a specialist. There's also something called RAG. It stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. It's just a fancy word for connecting an AI to your own documents. Instead of retraining the model, it just searches your files when you ask a question, and it will use what it finds. Everything we've talked about so far is AI that answers questions. You ask something, it responds, that's it. An AI agent is different. It can actually do things, not just talk. You give it a goal, and it uses whatever tool it has access to achieve that goal. Browse the web, send emails, read documents, create files. You don't tell it the steps, it figures them out. So an AI agent needs to be connected to your tools to actually do anything useful. Your email, your calendar, your apps. MCP is what makes that possible. It stands for Model Context Protocol. Think of it like a USB-C for AI. One standard plug that connects to everything. Before MCP, every connection had to be built from scratch. Now there's one way to do it. That's why agents can talk to Google Mail, Google Calendar, Slack, and thousands of other tools. A deepfake is when AI creates a realistic video of someone doing or saying something that they didn't. It looks real, but it's not. Voice cloning is when AI copies someone's voice. It only needs a few seconds of audio. People are already getting scammed right now with calls that sound exactly like their boss or their family member. Both are getting harder to spot. Now, AGI is where things go up a level. It stands for Artificial General Intelligence. This is something that we don't have yet. Right now, AI is limited to what it was actually trained on. It spots patterns and predicts answers. AGI would go beyond that. It could solve problems that it was never taught to do. Figure out things on its own, just like a human can. Nobody knows when it's coming. Some say years, some say decades, but it's what every major AI company is building towards right now. Those are the AI terms that you need to know right now. Next time someone drops one of them in a conversation, you'll know exactly what they're talking about. If you want to stay up to date with AI, join my newsletter at CameronTrew.com, link in the description, and subscribe so you don't miss the next video. See you in the next one.